So, I decided to get a Persona 3 Platinum trophy before the release of Persona 3 Reload to freshen up my memory of this game and finally conquer it to the full. And above all, it's a great game, right? Right? Well, the answer can be quite ambiguous. I mean, if we compare Persona 3 to other Persona games, Persona 5 would be an expensive, top-of-the-shelf whiskey. You might not like whiskey, but you'll see that it's a top-notch product, one that has been crafted with a lot of love and dedication. And Persona 4 would be a finely aged wine. It was good back then, and it is definitely good now. And Persona 3... well... it's a chicken that you stuffed in a freezer in 2016 and then forgotten about. You can unfreeze it and it's probably edible still, but the feeling of dread and anxiety of being poisoned will not leave you until the very end. Ah, come on, before you start poking me with pitchforks, let me say this. In terms of the story, I still believe P3 is the peak of the series. The game stands firm in my view, despite questionable decisions and the apparent cash grab with Persona 5 version, but we can't ignore how much the gaming era has transformed and how much the Persona series has progressed. Comparing the original game that paved the way for the new generation of Persona titles to its more recent counterparts is, well, unavoidable. And of course, when the Persona 3 remake came out, there was a general sense of letdown among the fans. This was primarily because Atlus chose to port Persona 3 Portable instead of the FES or the original game. To the fanbase, the decision seemed illogical, as most were anticipating a more comprehensive Gold Edition that would include FES, female MC and improved graphics. Instead, Atlus went with what many considered the graphically inferior version of the game, and the effort put into the port was, well, disappointingly minimal, which only added to the fans' frustrations. It actually makes much more sense now, because at that time, I think, Reload was already in the works, and I think Atlus just did a low-effort remake just to heat up the hype for P3 before the Reload announcement. But anyway, despite all of this, I have the utmost intention to play the fuck out of this game and have some quality fun time. So let's jump right into the Platinum journey. Number 1. The Other Self. As always, with the first achievement in JRPGs, it takes us 17 hours of exposition and tutorials before we even get a chance to play this game. I started with the female MC and go through the story where we meet some of the main characters, introduced to a school life and finally get to the point when the first shadow attacks a dormitory at night. Yukari, who is at the moment is as effective as a pedal-powered wheelchair, drops her evoker, presenting us with the moment to...
Yay, and we have our first achievement, the other self.
Is it over?
Nice. Oh no, it's not, it's far from over, Yukari. It's just the beginning.
Number 2. Advantage Mine. Well, hello there, we are in Tartarus for the first time for real. Finally, after another 200 hours of exposition, we can start playing and exploring Tartarus. And of course, first thing that we do is poke a shadow in the ass to get this achievement. Number 3. Fashion Plate. After some time in Tartarus, we also complete some quests given by Theodore and also grind a lot of levels. Eventually, I come across a special armor for Junpei, and now we're packing some drip, boys!
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G.
Number 4. Grasping at Greed. Golden hands are actually extremely easy to beat in Persona 3 comparing to Persona 4. Those are of course quite rare and have 2 actions per turn during which they can always run away. But they are not extremely tanky and will always have a weakness to one type of physical damage. So the best strategy here is to just put the team in rush mode and pray they don't miss. Number 5. Tactical Fighter. This achievement comes naturally unless you are purposely avoiding hitting enemy weaknesses, which is a great idea for a challenge run. We get it fairly easy during our second visit to Tartarus. Number 6. The nose doesn't always know. Okay, I think I got extremely lucky with this one. To give you some perspective, I got exactly one fusion accident in the whole playthrough, which was around 95 hours total. So yeah, thanks to Igor for letting me slide with this one. I can't imagine doing mindless fusions on purpose for hours in order to get this. Number 7. Monorail inspection complete. We've reached the first full moon operation where we confront a boss taking the form of a priestess arcana. The battle isn't exceedingly difficult, but the real test here is not fixating on why the priestess has a B and J on her chest. There's definitely some kind of arcana lore behind this, but you know, it's just, you know, my mind drifts away when I look at this.
Nice.
Number 8. Persona Memory Bank. Shortly after the first boss we get access to Persona Compendium, and I have to say Japanese inflation hits you pretty hard here. I mean, 10k yen for a pixie? I'm summoning the weakest possible demon here or attending a pink bar. But yeah, side note, the prices in the compendium depend on your difficulty level, and it's so expensive because I was playing on hard. Though I see no shame in putting the game in easy mode when you are summoning to get the prices down. And that is exactly what I did. Number 9. Granter of your desires. Oh, God, I hate this song, Jesus. Anyway, buying from Tanaka is a must if you want some early game boost, and we get the achievement after 5 purchases. Number 10. A new Persona user. Second full moon operation is here, and we are up against Emperor and Empress Arcanas. And I have to say, putting a physical weakness on the boss sounds like an amazing game design decision. Maybe try Hama and Mudo weaknesses next time. That would be a blast of a fight. Well, gimmick or not, the Emperor and Empress boss fight is extremely easy, no matter how you look at it. So we defeat them, Fuka joins the team, and we go back to grinding social links. Number 11. A true supporter. And speaking of social links, here we go maxing out our first one, who is my boy Junpei. And I'm not going to babble about the meaning of arcanas and social links like I did in the Persona 4 video because you guys didn't watch it, let's face it. So let's just enjoy the achievement hunt journey. Number 12. Seize the day. Nice pun, by the way.
Hey FMC, it's Theo here, your favorite velvet room attendant / part-time karaoke bar host. Quick update, thanks to your, let's say, generous spending on pixie summonings, I've just bought a fancy high-rise in downtown Tokyo. Seriously, your obsession with those pixies is funding my real estate empire. Oh, and on a slightly more urgent note, a few people have managed to get themselves lost in Tartarus. If you could be a deer and rescue them before they meet a fate worse than a bad karaoke night, and by that I mean a slow and painful, excruciating death, that would be great. No rush though, just their lives hanging in the balance. Catch you later. See ya.
Number 13. Skilled Commander. Also around that time we managed to get 50 all-out attacks for an achievement. Nothing too hard here, as this is one more achievement that will come naturally at some point. Number 14. Hotel Investigation Squad. Ah yes, the side of high schoolers in love hotels. Somewhere up there, Shinzo Abe is watching and feeling delighted about this scene. Anyway, there's another easy boss fight, though lovers can give you some troubles by charming the whole fucking team. Are you serious? What the f? Number 15. Head of the class. Yeah, I didn't mention this before, but the first 25% of the game I was trying to get myself to the peak of social stats. We already have Charm and Courage at max by this time and almost full academics, which allows us to get the highest marks in the exams and become the top of the class. Number 16. Bunker Debunked. And from here we go to our fourth full moon operation, which is the Chariot and Justice Arcanas. It's a pretty cool boss fight, and it can even get quite annoying if you're unable to defeat them in one turn, because they will constantly revive each other. Number 17, Paulownia Mall Power Control. And yeah, we just straight into next full moon operation because nothing much happened after last boss fight. As I continue grinding social links and go to Tartarus to do more quests, save people and see the pinnacle of my teammates' AI in action. Yeah, but here we are, another month, and we get to the Hermit boss fight, which is one of the coolest fights in the game in my opinion. He is kinda similar to Teddy boss fight from Persona 4, with his supercharge attack, and he is also tanky as hell actually. Number 18, Fusion Expert, and number 19, Special Fusion Expert. Yeah, Fusion Expert achievement, it comes naturally as well. It's pretty unavoidable because we still need to do 100% of the Persona Compendium in the future and do hundreds of different fusions anyway. And at the same time we also get an ability to start fusing 4 and more personas into a special fusion. And I also get a quest at this time to fuse Black Frost, which is the lowest tier 4 persona fusion that we can do at this point, which gives us the achievement as well. Number 20, Going Nova. Okay, this one came completely unexpected when I was grinding Tartarus for this fucking sword. Jesus Christ, Atlas, it took me around 4 hours of constant grinding to get Mikazushi Monechika. I overleveled my main character to around level 72 while doing it. But yeah, props to Aegis and her grenade launcher for obliterating a golden hand with 1200 HP head, getting me this achievement. Number 21, That Special Someone. Okay girls, let's talk about this. So, since I'm playing as FemC, as a straight white male, it was pretty hard for me to pick a romancing husbando in this playthrough. I wanted to go for Akihiko, but he's just too awkward for me. Junpei doesn't have a romancing route, and Ken... seriously? I wonder who thought that would be a nice idea to date a 10-year-old. Jesus. So, Shinjiro it is. Though, I have to say, his romancing route is super awkward as well. I think it shows why male tsundere archetypes are not really a thing anymore. And the fact that you have to throw yourself at Shinjiro like some kind of thirsty thought... I don't know, I don't play my FemC like this, to be honest. I perceive her as like a very pure and nice lady, you know, and here you just have to like, yeah, let me get into your room, Shinjiro. Wow, come on. Number 22, Flawless. Finally, after countless evenings spent at the gaming parlor playing quizzes, answering all teachers' questions correctly and attending Mitsuru's studying bootcamp during summer holidays, we bring our academics to max level. Number 23, No More Bets. Next boss fight is definitely one of the best ones in the game as well. I think it's even better than the Hermit one. Too bad you can't safely cheese the Wheel of Fortune by picking the exact opposite tile on the board. It will always land on the opposite side from where you push the stop button. Also, Strengths is the only boss in the game who can be insta-killed if you induce Fear element on it with the wheel and then use the Ghastly Wall skill. I didn't do it, but just letting you know. Easy XP, you know. Number 24, Bond Maniac. It is roughly half of the social links list, and I have to say the P3 social links feel extremely inferior to the ones from P4 and P5. I get that they were trying out new things at that time, but some of the social links are just about nothing. And yeah, Yukari, I'm talking about you. Number 25, Moderate Bookkeeper. Another achievement that comes naturally as we progress to the completion of our Persona Compendium. Funny thing is that there's no perks given by Theodore for doing it. You at least get a discount in P4. Here, you're not even getting a line of acknowledgement from Theo. Number 26, Settled the Score. Whew, last full moon boss, and from this point the drama of the story starts picking up to the full. Also we get to fight Strega, who are as useless as one-legged men in a butt-kicking contest. So, Atlas, please fix them in Reload. because Jin and Takaya has a very cool design and interesting personas, but they are defeated so quickly I think I didn't even see Jin using his persona once. And yeah, we also defeat the Hangman Arcana, also a nice fight, but at this point I'm super overleveled and it didn't pose any threat at all. Number 27. The Reaper becomes the Reaped. It's time to reap the Reaper, guys! And as always, the Reaper fight is not that hard in Persona games as long as you are high enough level. He still manages to wipe my party once, which was a nice sobering surprise, but we get him on our second try. Actually, beating Reaper also completes a quest and opens Monad, which is a endgame dungeon with 90 plus level enemies. It is not as scary as you might think, but look at this XP gain! Woohoo! Safe to say you can get to level 99 in no time here. And that is what we also do, because we have some insanely difficult bosses to beat. Number 28. Social Butterfly. Lastly, we complete Mitsuru's social link, which is the last social link we need to do, getting the achievement and also receiving a colorless mask from Igor, which allows us to fuse the best persona in the game, Orpheus Tellus. Number 29. Thorough Bookkeeper. I really don't know how much time did I spend on this. I lost count of hours, but with colorless mask and Mitsuru's maxed out social link, we go ahead and create Alilat and Orpheus Tellus to get our compendium completion rate to 100, receiving this achievement. Number 30. Displaying Adaptability. And I completely forgot about this achievement. To be honest, there's not one fight in the game where you would have to do it naturally. I actually did these by accident while doing Margaret's puzzle fights. But yeah, crazy. Number 31. One who has proven their power. Well, and here we are. Margaret is one of the 2 secret mega bosses in Persona 3, and I have to say she is, well, first of all, hot as ever, but also seems harder than her fight in Persona 4. Mainly because her phases are different and she really crits a lot, despite the fact that my team has the best equipment. Speaking of which, how come most of the guides would tell you to spam level Messiah to get Boots of Light and then also to spam level Alilat for Divine Pillars? Is this some kind of a big brain move that I don't understand? Divine Pillars reduce the damage you take but essentially eliminate your dodge ability, while Shoes of Light provide top tier evasion and an extra skill to avoid physical damage. So, if I understand this correctly, these 2 items seems to be at odds with each other. If there's no dodge, it actually makes more sense to get some low tier magic sandals, which are the only shoes in the game who give plus to stats. In this case, +3 to magic. But yeah, maybe I don't know how it works exactly, so if there are any P3 brainiacs out there watching this video, please explain it to me in the comments. Thank you. Also, I think this is the only boss, besides Theodore of course, in the history of gaming where you have to actually use a calculator to keep track of how much HP she has left. This is done in order to make sure we know exactly when she reaches less than 10,000 HP, so we can nuke her with Armageddon spell that does 9,999 damage and can end the fight faster. But of course, I'm not some kind of a boomer to sit and jerk the calculator. We're living in the future, boys, so I used ChatGPT to track the HP for me, and it actually worked like a charm. Number 32. A cut above. Okay, we're getting out of Tartarus with this one. We're getting out of Tartarus with this one. Okay, we're getting out of Tartarus with this one, boys. The funny thing about this is that I thought I need to do all quests in order to get Theo spawn on the last floor of Monad, and that means finding Myoho Muramasa, another rare sword. And you know what? I did some calculations. This sword can spawn on floor 3 and 8, and only in rare chests which have 6% chance of appearing. And to add insult to injury, there is a pool of 3 items that you can get from a rare chest in Monad. So even if you find a rare chest, there is another 33% chance this sword will even drop. It means there's a 3.84% chance of fighting this sword, and it will take you approximately 24 runs to floor 3 with approximate grind time of 95 minutes. Which is not so bad. you will say, but let's keep in mind that these numbers are very approximate, and with my luck it took me 1 hour 55 minutes to grind. And you know what? It's not even needed for Theo to spawn, and it's not even that good of a sword in the first place. What is this, Atlas? Who did this? Bad Atlas. Bad Atlas. Bad game design. Anyway, Theodore or Elizabeth fight are even harder than Margaret because you have to do it solo. And I have to say, Theo hits like a truck loaded with enriched uranium driven by an insane South European driver high on meth. He can easily demolish you in one turn if he crits with a physical attack and then spams you with magic. So even with all the preparations I did, meticulously building Orpheus with the best skills possible, this fight is a complete gamble. There's also this particular scenario where you can end the fight before his second phase, where you basically need to get so lucky. I'd rather go ahead and grind 5 more Myoho Muramasas, to be honest. So what you need to do is to get him down to around 10,000 HP and then pray that his second attack during his turn will be a physical attack, which you will high counter and bring him under 10k. Since it was his second attack, he won't be able to use Diarehan and heal himself, and you can use Armageddon and finish the fight. And of course, I wasn't even remotely lucky to pull this off, so I just kept trying until I actually managed to beat him through both of his phases fair and square. Well, I still used Armageddon, of course, but yeah. And of course, I did build another calculator in ChatGPT to keep track of Theo HP, count the rounds in his pattern, and even tell which attack I need to use. I will leave a link to Pastebin with this prompt if you'd like to use it. It is actually quite helpful. Number 33. To live is to oppose death. Finally, we're down to the last portion of the game where we need to defeat the final boss, the Nyx Avatar. Honestly, after fights with Elizabeth and Theo, the fight goes something like this. yeah, just shut the fuck up. Number 34. The Great Seal. Finally, we play Jesus, seal off Nyx and transition to one of the greatest endings in the history of JRPGs, getting the last achievement and the platinum. What a nice game, guys. I'm so happy that we pulled this off. Wait, where's the platinum? Am I missing something? Number 35. A pair of wildcards. Fuck, we need to do another playthrough with male MC. Oh my god. And yeah, while you definitely can just skip all days, it's such a brain dead grind, which is the worst kind of grind. It took me another maybe 5 hours to skip through the entire game. Fortunately, it still counts if you do the bad ending, so we have to play only until December 31st. And we don't need to fight Nyx again, which is nice. Finally, with that being done, we received the last achievement and the platinum after watching the credits. Whew. This is it, guys. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed a more casual format of Road to Platinum series. Let me know in the comments if you liked it, and of course subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more. I am absolutely doing Reload when it comes out, so keep an eye on the Persona 3 Reload Platinum Trophy video somewhere in February. Once again, thank you for joining me on this journey and have a great day ahead. Cheers!